everyone, I'm Nick from nextstepnick.com, and today we're going to talk a little bit about Spirit's Abyss. And full disclosure, I've really fallen in love with this one. You'll see here from this introduction, so much effort and time has gone into this game, really making something that you can enjoy. You can really get your teeth into this. It's very much a diamond in the rough. It was something I really wasn't expecting to find for the price that I paid. It's just wonderful. I mean, I picked this up for $2.99, and just check out the quality of the music. It's got a fantastic musical score, it's got this great colour palette, these really intricately designed and animated enemies as well, and these wonderful sprites that really breathe life into this game. So what is it? It's a roguelite title with a lot of different content. I mean, for the price I paid, I really wasn't expecting this, but you've got stuff like, for example, your cabins, where you can upgrade your own little home base and make it to your liking. You can collect things like cards for this card mode, and you've also got challenges, so you've got daily and weekly challenges to do, as well as the main game. So the main game, you're playing as one of two clans, either Katanachi or the Alchemistro. One wields a gun, one wields a sword, and that really changes the way you have to play the game as well. It really makes each run unique. If you're playing as the Katanachi, for example, you have to get in close, puts you at more of a disadvantage in regard to taking damage, but at the same time you can put out a lot more damage as well. So what you're doing is you're travelling around collecting items, finding different things and exploring these levels, but the trade-off is that the more you explore, the more you might find, but at the same time it opens you up, the more likely you're going to die as well. For the most part, you're finding items. If you die, it does go back to the start. That being said though, there are items that are persistent, so you can find things, for example, for your cabin, you can find customization for your character, you can find items that will then sort of move through the game with you. It's really Binding of Isaac-esque in regard to the items you find as well, so there's a lot of variation in regard to how your playstyles can be different on these levels. There's really a lot of replayability here, and it doesn't feel stale or old, it doesn't feel like you're slamming your head against a wall. In regard to finishing the stage, you'll work your way to the bottom of each stage, you'll find a little drop and then you move down, and your clan will offer you a gift to improve, for example, your attacks, change the way you can move, or maybe give you like an extra defense. So here we've gone for something that will adapt our attack. Here though, I'm playing as the Alchemistro later on in the game, and you can just see the level of detail and the changes in regard to the enemies around us and the area itself. The music as well changes as you go through different areas, and just the level of detail here. So for example, on that teleporter there, it's a real trade-off, and it changes the game mechanic a bit in that you can teleport someone later on, but you might miss out on items, for example. So here, earlier on with the Katanachi, I've explored a bit and I've found myself a spade. So I can use that item to dig through the level. It can really change the way I can interact with the world around me. And there are so many of these items that really change the way you can play. For example, as well as the spade, you've got stuff like the binoculars, where you can scope the level out, you can plan yourself accordingly as to where you want to go, and there's such a huge, wide range of these items. And one of the great things about these is that they help you to meet these really vibrant characters. So we've got people like salespeople, traders, we've got characters that will bestow us with powers and items for cost because we're travelling through these levels collecting gold, and they're such vibrant, unique individuals with their own text, their own voices and their own animations. I mean, here I've fallen down to the fairy fountain, and so we'll meet the nymph here, the pixies, and they have so much character. They really ooze this character and personality through their dialogue, their animations, their movements. So here I'm trading in items, trading in gold, I'm getting health for that, but you can also trade in your old items and just really mix up your gameplay. And these are all random events, so you do meet these wonderful characters just on the off chance, and they really make every playthrough different. The other thing as well is there is an overarching story, and you do meet these characters like other characters throughout the game that really, again, just are so different. I mean, this guy here, just after you moved your way through the story, you'll bump into him. He's got this unique voice, this animation of just the eyebrow raise as well. It's just wonderful. I mean, this little sign-off he has here as well. It's so good. You really care about them. And they feel like they belong in this world. They're not just stuffed in here. They're eerie and creepy and different. It's very unique in the way that it presents things, and I enjoyed every second of playing it. It was something that I'll definitely come back to, and I'm thinking about playing now, even whilst I'm talking about it. there's so much to do, there's so much to explore, and every time you feel like you've found everything, you'll just spot something off in the distance, or maybe glimpse a different colour in a different room, and all of a sudden there's something completely different to explore, there's something different to use, different to talk to, there's someone new, or some kind of interesting dialogue you can have, and it's great. And that also goes through to the levels in regard to the level design as well. So the levels are so changing and different and versatile in that they don't feel the same. You'll move through that first area and then straight away you'll be going to this swampy area, then you'll move into this area filled with blood and roots, and these other areas that are like libraries and museums, or they feel ancient. And it's so fantastic in doing that. They really have managed to create this vibrant, exciting place filled with interesting characters that I want to interact with. I want to see what they have to say. I want to see how this world changes as we go through. There's a lot of really nice nods to other games as well. There's, for example, some of the traders will say things like, "What are you buying?" A little bit of a nod to Resident Evil 4. We've got stuff like this little nod to Mario here as well. And it just shows that this is a labour of love, even down to items like this that will follow you as you move. It's such a small movement for the sprite, but it really shows how much someone cares in regard to game design. And it's, for the price, it's fantastic. I can't fault it at all. The only thing I would say about the title is that I was originally playing with a mouse and keyboard, and I wouldn't recommend it. It can be a bit stodgy in regard to how you move, how you interact. It can feel a little bit strange. Whereas I tend to use a controller, and as soon as I did, it just felt very, very natural. It played very smoothly, really nice, really enjoyable game. And just throughout, I mean, I can't really say enough about it. Check out this death sequence here. It's really dark, gritty, and generally quite unnerving. I loved it. I loved the way the enemy design changed as we got further into the game as well, how the challenge ramps up, how those enemies get progressively more difficult as the game goes on, and how you start encountering things that they just blow your mind really. You don't know where to start. You might die, but you die in this really horrifying way, but at the same time you're excited to get back in there, you're excited to go back to that place. You suddenly think of different tactics to deal with these enemies. They all attack in different ways, and it's just great. Really, really fun to play. As well as this, you've also got the card game. So as you go through the game, you'll be finding cards and things like that. And then when you go to play the card game, you can utilise those to fight against the enemy that way. So you've got this entire game mode as well, where you can basically just play cards. I mean, I was basically going to play this for about 10 minutes just to capture a little bit of it. I think I ended up doing about 10 rounds of it. It's such an enjoyable, fun experience throughout. It's one of those games that whenever I'm not playing about it, I'm thinking about playing it. And for the price as well, I mean, it cost me, like I say, $2.99 I think. And you can't go wrong for that. The amount of care and attention that's gone into this is just amazing. You've always got this motivation to keep playing. You always feel like you want to keep moving. You want to keep going towards this mysterious entity. You want to find out why you're here, how you can gain these powers, how you can help your clan, and how the world will change as you move through it. Can you affect that? And it just feels wonderful. From start to finish, it's a fantastic experience. I can't recommend it enough. If you haven't played it already, I would definitely recommend going and buying it. You can get it on the Steam store now, Spirits Abyss, for about $2.99 I believe, but I can't recommend it enough. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you liked the video. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and if you do want to see more of my content, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and head over to nextstepnick.com. Thank you very much, and goodbye.